live. Making sure everything is all set here. Hello, everyone. We're going to do a quick live session today talking about avoiding rabbit holes. So this is a topic I often hear from different people. Chime and chat if you can relate. But when we're starting, especially when we're in the career search mode, I hear a lot of times about how going down rabbit holes is something where we can lose time, we get frustrated, we can feel like we are not getting any closer to our goal. So wanted to talk about this topic, one, because I hear it a lot, two, because I've been there by myself, and three, if there's any way I can alleviate that frustration, that feeling for anyone, I want to share it. So exactly what do I mean by going down rabbit holes, and how does this help us in our productivity or our success? What I mean is that this can be anything from researching a topic just too much, too far, where we get analysis paralysis. Now we have too much information and we don't know where to go. It can also be when we research a topic way beyond the scope of what we were actually looking for, right? So you started with one thing and then you ended up in left field. And that can feel like, oh gosh, I just lost a bunch of time. It can also mean that when we're switching between subjects because our question that we started with was too broad. So that's another area where if we can help refine that, we can avoid this problem of going down the rabbit holes, right? It can be more of a direct route than feeling like we ended up at the end of the internet. So why do we do this? Could be that we're procrastinating. I've been there where I don't have that urge to get a lot of work done. So we start, whether we're pulling up something that we're scrolling on, we're reading the news, and then we find a question and we start looking at a different topic. We're not focused on what we're doing and we could be procrastinating. So it's a good time to catch ourselves and see if check in there and see if that might be the problem. So do I need to get up and take a walk, go refill my coffee, maybe come back to the task at hand at a different time? Could also be that we're not actually committed to the outcome. If we're not super clear on where we're going, it's really easy to just end up all over the place, to become more curious about something else when we're not clear on what we're looking for. This could also be because, again, we don't have a clear question. We haven't clearly identified where we want to go. So this is a great opportunity to just pause and maybe figure out really what we're trying to answer in this moment or what we're trying to fulfill. Sometimes our rabbit holes are because there is something else going on and we maybe are trying to fill that with, finding information, or is it shopping, or is it, the latest persons who can inspire you. So really taking a step back and figuring out what exactly am I trying to accomplish in this moment can help us avoid that rabbit hole. And then there's also general curiosity, and this can be a positive reason to end up down the rabbit hole. And that could be that you're just generally curious and want to learn more about a subject, so you're willing to spend that time and take off and see where you end up. That can be a positive way to do it. The negative way is when we actually end up reading all the negative comments and we're more looking for those than the positive ones or the ones that are answering a question. If we catch ourselves looking for the snarky comments on Reddit, then we're probably not in a positive state. The rabbit hole is probably not serving us. Okay, so what actions can we take to avoid this? One, before you even get to the Google search bar, do we actually have a go-to source that we know is reliable, that this is the place that we most often find answers? This could be when we're researching a software, when we're shopping for a new product, when it is a quote that we're looking for an article that we're writing. Do we actually have good sources that we know that's generally where I get my information? And let's start there. Next, is there actually a person that we can talk to rather than searching Google? Again, Google, like when we're not motivated, maybe the phone is easy to pick up, but if we could actually ask ourselves, do I have a better option here that will I can ask the question and then wait for the answer. That would help us avoid going down the rabbit hole. Next, if we really do need to start researching and get on the internet and figure out what this is, set a timer. Give yourself, just like anything else you would do during your day, set an amount of time that you would then say, I'm going to devote to this task, just like anything else on our to-do list. How much time do you actually have to spend on this? And put that down. Then make sure you have a goal, right? So if I'm going to say I have 15 minutes to research, a problem that we're having with software, or if I actually do need to go and find a new solution for our project management, I'm going to devote an hour, right? And I'm going to have a very specific goal. I want a new project management tool that will actually allow me to connect to calendars and generate a weekly report. Be very specific on what we're looking for. Then knowing what action I'm actually going to take after gathering all this information. So let's say this is about a career search. If we actually know that we want to go look for jobs in project management, and I want to be able to reach out to 3 of these companies to ask for an informational interview. So then we know that we're searching for specific companies and we're looking for someone in that company to reach out to. And then we have a follow-up action of, now I'm going to go on LinkedIn and see if I have a connection here, right? We're going to have very specific things that we're doing in this search. So we're going to write down those questions, write down those actions before we start. And I encourage you even to go and put those on your task list, your to-do list, before you even start the searching. 1, it's going to feel really great when you get to cross it off. And 2, holding ourselves accountable to reaching that goal, it makes it very clear on what we're trying to do versus, again, getting to the end of the internet. A lot of times too, I may even just put the Post-it note right on the edge of my computer so I can see it, so that I know if I've ended up all of a sudden on Amazon shopping for something, I am very clearly off course, right? So that gets to the next point. What do we do when we're completely off course? We realize that we've gone from searching technology tools to who's the best pediatrician for our child. We need to just maybe get up and walk away from the computer in that moment, right? So we're going to hold ourselves accountable to what we're actually looking for. We're going to hold ourselves accountable to that time and what we put on our task list. And if we're human, we get distracted. If we do, we're actually going to get up and walk away. Go refill the coffee cup, go to the next thing on your task list, but switch gears, like physically switch gears, so that we know we can retrain ourselves that when we do end up there, we are going to stop, pause, and get back on track. So again, we are going to be very clear on that goal, very clear on the amount of time. We're going to add it to our task list. And we're also going to be clear about, when we're thinking about that outcome, am I searching for a free resource, or am I searching for, I am going to pay for something here? Because I think that when we get into the free, we can keep searching, give ourselves permission to keep looking. But actually, what's the cost of that in our time, right? If I continue searching, I am losing my time, which equates to my money. So again, being very clear, if I'm going for a free option, how much time I'm going to take till I find it, and maybe how many options I actually want to have. Again, if we go back into the career search, if this is part of you're looking for something, are you looking for a free class to take? Are you looking, or do you have a set amount of money that you want to devote to a course? How long do you need that to be? Who is the person that maybe you look for to be the stamp of approval? Is this part of a network? How does it relate? But again, having those very clear ideas, that takes away from you wasting your own time. And then lastly, either commit to what you found or stop searching. Again, get to that timer, go back to how much time it takes, and say, okay, I'm at 30 minutes. I didn't find my answer, but I did learn these 3 things. I'm going to put those on my to-do list. I will schedule time in the future and get back to those. But I'm going to commit to this amount of time and how far I've gotten, and stop. And so again, we're looking at holding ourselves accountable. So to the time, the outcome that we wanted, knowing that if we can go ask a person, or if we have reliable resources, we are going to start there. And then lastly, add these things to your to-do list when you've gotten questions, whether it's the next question on the list or on the next action you need to take, so that it completes that process. And then we commit to stopping when we get to that amount of time or the number of resources that we decided we wanted to find. Okay, those are my 3 tips today. I'm going to stay in my less than 15-minute window that we wanted to accomplish this, because that's the way this productivity should feel. That when we have things that are improving our systems, improving how we're doing things for the day, we commit to the amount of time, we commit to delivering what we said. I'm not going to go check this off my task list. And if you have any other questions like this, feel free to post it on the Facebook channel. We'll get to them there. Reach out to us at hello@prowessproject.com if you have any other kind of questions, and have a great day.